Okay, this should all work now. It looks like it. Cool, awesome. Um, yeah, hi everyone. My name is Eric. I make games sometimes. Um, Wishlist GB Robo on Steam if you haven't already. That would be great. So now I have done the call to action thing. Also follow whatever like there is to follow me on. There are tons of space. You can follow me on Twitter, like follow at Mokograd on Twitter, not like my personal account because I complain a lot. But if you like complaining, I mean, I'm pretty good at that as well. Anyway, and yeah, follow also the games on Steam that I'm making because apparently that like makes you see news announcements or whatever. News announcements, a new feature. No, so yeah, that's that, I guess. What am I doing today? Like once GameMaker has finished loading the project, and I want to add lore pages to GB Rover, which is just like a way for me to add some like additional expositional element to the game without foregrounding it too much, because I don't think that like the game itself lends itself to that, like to like very foregrounded stuff. Oh, by the way, the last boss portrait got finished. Shoutouts to Mavica who did these. This is Vintage Perspective, who looks incredible. So yeah, I want to add lore pages to the game. So on the way I want to do that is let's do like where's like my test room. This is a test room. Just that I can show this off for a moment. Also, so that the project is compiled and whatever. So again, I want to add some more exposition to it without like being overly in the foreground. The main idea, the main inspiration for those pages are like the kind of like backstory pages that you get in some of the later Kirby games. So in, for example, in Planet Robobot, I think only in the special game modes when you like pause the game, and obviously you have your ability like text blurb in the pause menu in this game, and if you scroll through the pages at some point you'll see, and you fight a boss for example, you see a short like text blurb about the boss and like their motivations or whatever, and it adds like a tiny bit of like extra depth to the game, which I really like as an easy way to like again to like do this with like the games that you're making. And I want to put, basically for me, I want to put like an extra page into this pause menu. So right now you can scroll between the options and whatever menu and like the weapons menu, and I just want to add a third page. And then comes the more tricky part, is I want to like build something where like depending on which level you're in and which boss you're fighting, a different text gets displayed. So I wrote down like short text. I hope they fit. That's the next possible problem here. I wrote short text for each level and each boss fight. And basically I wanted like to like switch around, like if you're just in the level text gets displayed, and if you're like fighting the boss text gets displayed. And yeah, that's basically the idea. Again, I'll have to see how the text fits. I wrote things that are like roughly like at maximum as long as a tweet, so I hope like in terms of length it fits. The problem really with this low resolution that I'm working with is that I really don't have a lot of space to put text in there. So I can't write very long explanations about stuff, which on one end is nice because I don't have to write a lot, but it's also kind of a problem because I have to make sure that what I'm writing is as much to the point as possible and like is able to fit in the small amount of space that I have. Sure, I could do like scrolling text or whatever, but I think that would kind of defeat the purpose of this being like short, like not really fleshed out blurbs about like that deeply like explain what has happened. It's more like this should give you a like on one end a bit of a better understanding of who these people are that you're fighting and what they're doing. Well, and also like give you kind of like a space where you can like fill in the blanks, so to speak, a bit more. Because right now it's just like, oh yeah, these are bosses, who knows what they're doing, and this way there's like a bit more stuff. You can also think about it in a way of like for example in Mega Man games, in the manuals of like the old games, you had like short like explanations about like the bosses, like what they were doing and like what their special abilities are and all that, kind of like in a similar vein, but a bit more strange. I guess I could show it like for a second. Give me a moment. So this is like, let me see. This is very small. Let me zoom a bit closer. So this is like a boss in the final levels. By day, he's just a simple CEO of a nondescript private military company. By night, he stalks the rooftops of complicity in search of criminals, evildoers, and generally anyone that looks suspicious. That's the first boss in the final stages, which is a robot that jumps around and like throughout the stage shoots rockets at you. And at some point I had the idea, what if it's just Batman but a fascist robot? So what if it's Batman but a robot? Because Batman actually is a fascist. But anyway, yeah, that's like, I'm also like kind of happy about the murder ball blurb. Head of boss calls HR department and married to Stave Eminence, who's another boss. They don't see each other very often because of her husband's reclusive lifestyle. Wrote a best-selling motivational book called The Art of Fitting In and Not Out. If you know where this is from, like, congratulations. I try to occasionally steal stuff from like that I found like especially disgusting, like from real people. This is why Dr. like Dorf Rombo's boss, he's not a real doctor, hates the color yellow. Again, if you know where this is from, congratulations. I'm realizing kind of to some degree I made Ready Player One, but instead of like references to like 80s and 90s media properties, I make references to awful capitalists. It's just like, yeah, okay, sure. Let's do that instead. This is like an incredibly cursed thought. Oh man. I need to like I need to like write this down somewhere. Like this is way too good. Like Ready Player One, but like what if capitalism? Anyway, so I want to put these in there somewhere. Yeah. So, what we need to do for that, it's not that hard. I think we have to go in here. Yeah, okay. I think. Oh, no. What? Huh? What? Let's see. Okay, yeah. This is page. Blah, 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 blah. Pause through page 0. Yeah, okay. Let me see. Is this here? Okay, yeah. This is here. Okay. I mean, what I can just do is, also, apologies, you can't see anything, right? Yeah, this might be a bit, let me see. I'm making OBS larger so that I can see at which point it's like probably readable. I mean, also that I have to see my face in larger, which is this is too small. This is even too small for me. And this should work. Anyone let me know if this is readable or unreadable. Also, as always, if there's like audio problems or whatever, please let me know. Because I can't fix them later. Like, I can only fix them while I'm doing this. Anyway, okay, yeah, sure. So what I have to do here is just, let's go like whatever. Okay, page. Let's do it this way as well. Okay. Pause through page 0. No, this is Drogui. This is okay. This is if you like press the shoulder buttons. Also, a thing that I'll have to add at some point is like make markers on the bottom of the pause screen, like indicating that you can switch around. Still not there. I see if I'll do that at some point. Page 0. Page, okay, that's when you go to the left. Okay, oof. Yeah, that's okay. Page 2. Okay. 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 Okay, that's going to the right. Equals 1. Equals 2. Let's see. It's 2. Page equals 0. This can be removed. It's 2. Page equals 1. Let's see. This is obviously is also like kind of always a bit dicey when you like have to go into old code that is kind of built around. Yeah, okay, like it's just like 2 states. I can just swap around between these 2, and then you add like a 3rd one. Well, I mean, this is solvable. This is like definitely solvable. But you can scroll between these 3 and nothing strange. Nothing strange seems to happen. This is funny. You can kind of make the UI transparent right now. Oh well, it's not a big deal. Definitely not a big deal. What we have to do here is blah 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 blah. Somewhere up here. Okay, if pause equals true. Let's see if this fixes it. Mm-hmm. Oh, maybe this is just... Yeah, okay, this always resets, which is fine. Let's have to relearn how I made the menu like a few, I don't know, months ago? I think it was like, oh god, when was it? Like April or early May? I'm pretty sure it was April. Like the game was quote unquote done like since, oh shit, late April I think. Or very early May. It was like roughly the same time as Splinter Zone was done 4 years ago, and I think Splinter Zone was done around like I don't know. Who cares? Who cares? Anyway, so we have this, which is like enough right now. So now we have to create an object lore box, which we'll like just do it like so this is just a test to see if it's working. I maybe not call it text. I think this already exists. Let's call it lore. Drogui. Set font, yeah, F. Small game. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Let's take these. Oopsie, I don't want to cut them. Draw set color. Let's say call 1, I think. Let's just do it this way. Draw set H align F left. Draw string. Or was it draw text? What? I thought. Huh? What writing? How do you do this again? Draw text. I knew it. Ugh. Okay. Now pause. Then we go. Create, make blurb. Let's call it make lore. Step page equals 0. 2. If make lore equals true. Kind of the same like this. Lore box. Make lore false. Page equals true. Okay. Well, I had to kill a bug. Okay. Page 2. Yeah, okay. This lore box with object lore box instance destroy make lore equals true. Page 0, okay, this is that. Page 1 to page 0 destroys this. Then I need to go from page 2 to page 0, this one here. Okay, let's see. Kind of, I don't know if I should apologize sometimes for like only streaming work like this, which is, or like a lot of my development streams are like, I mean, okay, cool. I'm pretty sure I know why there isn't any text. I'm fairly certain that I know why there isn't any text. It's still kind of annoying. So what I think happens here is that the pause UI is being drawn over the text, which is why we don't see it. So let's, for now, remove that. I'm pretty sure I have to do this like differently, which is fine. Which is fine. It's fine. I have to like look at the main menu stuff, how I did it there. Okay, no, there's no text here. That's cool. Okay, there is text. But only if I... Okay, it... Okay. Well, I mean, it also doesn't disappear, which... Yeah, I mean, I know why. I don't know why. Maybe I do know why, but it's not finished, but... oh god, there's like... Ugh. Blah. Currently not really in the mood of dealing with this, but it has to be done. But it's still the same problem, you see. The text, like at least parts of it was displayed, and it's not being displayed now. So yeah. Cool. It's been, yeah, awesome. But yeah, this kind of explains it at least. But it's not a big problem, really. It's mostly about looking inside here, understanding that we do need to put this in here. And then go in here. Maybe in here or somewhere else. Maybe not in here. I'm just realizing that maybe it's impossible. Oh no, the pause keyboard key, I think, is something different than the... Ooh. Ooh, I have to check this. What do you press to, like, do the pause? Well, my friends, this isn't, like, this is a bad idea. Oopsie. This is a bad idea. I'll deal with it later. Maybe maybe I should. Give me a sec. Use a different keyboard key to pause the game. Because right now, at least that's what I believe is like how it's built, is box make lore equals true, page equals 0. Yeah, that should work better now. So the problem that there is with the menu is that I pause the game by pressing enter. So I also unpause the game by pressing enter. And I'm also selecting things by pressing enter. You see, there's a bit of a problem. So I have to, like, change this, because right now you can't actually navigate the pause menu with the keyboard, which is bad. Okay, like, for some reason this still happens. I'm pretty sure I know why, because for some reason, like, it's not perfect when something gets created. So, oh god, am I in the, yeah, I am in the right object. God. Key down, key right, key jump, key. Okay, where are we? Page equals 2. Okay, this is pressing to the right. Like, okay. Ooh, maybe this is, no. But it should. Page equals 1, page equals 2. Let's see under which circumstances the menu appears and one on which it doesn't. Doesn't appear when scrolling to the right. It does appear when scrolling to the left. Okay. So the problem somewhere lies in the right key thing. Okay. So what's the difference here? So page 2, blah 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 blah. Okay, everything is as it should be. This is also sort of okay. This actually gets rid of it. Wait, oh, I know the problem. I know the problem here. This thing, this whole thing is supposed to be in here. So, right now it was like, because it was outside, the lore box was destroyed the moment it was created. So now it should work. Hopefully. Don't disappoint me, game. I mean, that's like, programming in a sense is the ultimate neoliberal thing, because everything is your fault. It's never the machine's fault. It's always the human that makes the mistake because you didn't put enough effort into coding or whatever. So come here for like incredibly deep like analysis of like I don't know what. So yeah, that works, which is cool. Let me just check which color this had. I think it was a wrong color, but I don't know. No, that's a good. I thought maybe it was white, but it's not. Okay. Now to how many things do I have? Where's my document? Oh, here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Interesting. Oh yeah, I know why. Okay, so nine things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Also, like all of what I'm doing here, like depending on how like stuff goes with publishers, is something I might have to do again. Because what I'm doing right now is like I'm putting like strings directly into the code, which isn't very translation friendly. And like in case like this gets ported somewhere and maybe translated, I would have to like take all the text and like put it in external files that I then get read in, so that you can actually change like the language of the game. But the same with my like general like scheduling and like planning on what I'm doing when and all that. I'm just going to operate under the assumption that nothing will come out of these, like my attempts to find a publisher. I'll just hope that everything is okay. Like, but in general, like for future projects, I've already been planning on like always having the text outside of the game and like do it from the start. Just that this doesn't happen anymore. But yeah, it is what it is. So the idea is to have like these being the names of the locations. Oh, ha. I need another one. Give me a moment. I need 3 arrays, actually. Location, boss, actual text. No, not there. Please go up there. Okay, cool. I need my text file now. Okay. Now comes the name for the various boss fights that you have to do. So the idea is to have something where you can, where like at the top there's like the name of whatever it is the blurb is about, and underneath is like the text being displayed basically. Again, depending on whether or not there is enough space. This is going to be interesting. Where am I? Like, yeah, this is. Still not sure how I name this. Right now it's Nightbot. But Nightbot is also like a Twitch name, like I think a name for like a moderation bot or whatever. So it's kind of uninspired, not as inspired as Retro Schwan or Murder Ball. Oh, also, this, give me a moment. Also, this needs to be to erase. It's all good. God, please go here. Find and replace. Place. Hi. Yeah, okay, good. Now you're doing it. Okay. Now let's just okay. What's the next cadence? No. Wait a second. I'm in the wrong thing. I need to go down here. What? Like what? For some reason there was a line break here. Forest. Lake. Again. Okay, complicity comes next. Nope. Then offices. Space elevator. Then now comes the boss lore. Good thing I can like easily test at least how it's displayed on the screen. If it's displayed correctly in the game, it's like something a bit more complicated because I have to like go into each level and all that. But yeah. And also, obviously, Retro Schwan is a gentrifier, just so that you know. Like, who else would be a gentrifier but a giant swan that, like, walks around in a big fish bowl? Oh yeah, I need to a lot of this is not like working because is this working? Yes, good. The next one. Okay, good. We have everything. Yeah, I think I can do it like that. Because it's always 0. It should always be the same. Anyway, law count. Let's do the boss things first. Law name. And then check the rest. This will take a bit, probably. Okay. I think I know why. Why this looks so terrible. Okay. Yeah, no. First of all, let me open this. No, I don't want to download another manual. String to draw, distance between pixels between lines. This was like, this was wrong. 28. Also, this needs to be a bit further down. Let's say 48. So basically all the text was like drawn like on top of one another because like the line length was too short. Let's see. Oh yeah, cool. The font doesn't know what this is. First of all, I can make this larger. It's 256, like 220. Then I probably need to, I don't know, I'll have to see. Maybe I can use a different font. That could be an option. should I ever have money, like I definitely pay someone to like make a font for my games. Because this is like it's so annoying to have to like rely on like other bullshit, other people's work in that regard, which is, again, it's fine, it's okay, like they're like all doing like great work and all that, and it's all good, and I'm very happy that it exists. Oh, interesting, that was like, God, for some reason this was like some weird, maybe I should, I don't know, let's see. For some reason this was like weird, like different kind of like, this is like in a bunch of, I'm just seeing it in a bunch of cases. Maybe I should copy it into like a text document at first. Yeah, so this works kind of. I can like move it a bit further to the left, I guess. Like let's go back to the. Is this even a smaller font? I think like it's like I think that's actually the smaller one, or is it 11? 12. Well, it's not very that much smaller, isn't it? I think that's the smaller font. Where are we? So let's do let's go this way and this way. Okay. Oh yeah. Let's see if this like removes it. Just like. Nope, it doesn't. Cool. Okay, let me see this. Even start a revolt. Okay, get distance. Standard. Okay, that's a normal thing. Blah 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 ba 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 ba. There's one. Wait a second. Maybe I can do this. Okay, find and replace with this. Okay. Find and replace with this. Place all. Let's do this. This. Place all. Okay. This is still. Oh no, this is. Okay. Yeah, sure. I think this should work now. Okay. This can, like, I can make it look a bit nicer, but like it's not very necessary right now. Just trying to figure out and see, okay, does it look okay, or like which text bit needs adjustment, and all that. I could maybe make the text width even a bit wider. Because it still looks like a bit blocky. I used the wrong line thing there, but it's okay. At the same time, no, let's keep it that way. There's also like something, and that's God, that like it always annoys me. But it's I'm too not good at this stuff to like to figure out how to like make it better. That like you have this like weird like the lines aren't like the like it's not straight at where like it stops, and like there aren't any like words aren't like cut off like so that you're like kind of always end at the same point. Like the syllables aren't like split or whatever. So it's a bit it's annoying. But I'm not doing this. I'm not going in there and like trying to fix this. Like I won't do this, really. You could find a way where like it like tracks and counts in some kind of shit, and then puts a line break somewhere. So that it's always kind of like the same length, but oh yeah, okay, 240 is too wide. It could maybe not be too wide if I were to put it a bit further to the left, but I think then it looks weird. So let me 32. There's a spelling mistake. No apostrophe S. Sometimes I know English. This is still like something where like sometimes thinking about like it's kind of it's kind of risky for me to like say, yeah, I want to put text in my game because I'm like really good at spelling words. Like, why make things harder for me? Like, really. Also punctuation. So let's do this. I'm like, I'm debating on like and parts on the tone. What I like right now is that like it's a weird mix between very earnest about like what this is, like he's not a real doctor, and also like being kind of like look, listen to all of these positive things about these people, because like this part, oh, like this part about PD Rover. By the way, PD is short for police department, which is the second to last boss in the game. And again, as it said, GB Rover's brother is the living proof that even simple workers can rise to the top just through hard work and dedication. I was just thinking about like, okay, do I want to put a propaganda text in there, basically? Because that's what is being communicated in general. Like, oh, look at him. He's one of the good ones. Like, he worked really hard and like managed to get somewhere. At the same time, like, you could also make something as like, it's the proof that like simple, like that workers can rise to the top when they're willing to like betray their own in some way, because that's what he did. Still, like, this is like one of the fun things when you like have like a few, like last year at some point I started every time like in tabletop RPG sessions where I had to like come up with a city, I tried to like name it like in some way that it has two meanings, both like a name in a city and also like a general word like curiosity or simplicity in some way. And obviously complicity is also a word, but you can also use it as a name for a city, right? And Hero of Complicity has a nice double meaning here, because he's both the hero of this place and he's like very complicit in the oppression of like other people. So it's kind of like, and like I frame PD Rover as kind of like standing for a class traitor in some way, like someone who is really like believing in you just have to work hard, and like believing the stuff that like bosses tell him, and thinking that this is the way for everyone out, even though it's only the way for a very, very lucky few. And like kind of being like a willing tool for the oppressors. But anyway, but I'm still like debating on like, okay, how much do I want to go with these kind of like, basically like if someone would have written Wikipedia entries for these people, like where it's kind of like framed, yeah, okay, DR boss isn't a real doctor, but also like, look, he built this place, you know, so where there's like basically where there's like as with a lot of like Wikipedia entries of like people, there's like the controversy section down there, like whatever, like Retro Sean, controversy is like, oh yeah, his development project very often like lead to the displacement of like the residents there, like that were there before, or whatever. So kind of like that. Anyway, like just like in terms of like overall, I'm just, wait a second, did I take a look at, I think I did take a look at Dr. Boss. Still calling him Dr. Boss, even though he's not a real doctor. Because that's where, like, Dr. Boss was one of the first things, like, again, on the, like, first things I wrote down. I mean, I have the thing directly in front of me, right? Let's see. Admiral Garbage. Okay. This is the old game. Oh yeah, here it starts. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Ah yeah, here. Like, oh, back then he was just called Der Boss, which is just German for the boss. And then at some point it's oh yeah, Der abbreviates to DR. For some reason, which is why it's Doctor. And again, it's like me trying to play with the Mega Man naming conventions to some extent without, well, like trying to superficially play with the naming conventions of Mega Man, but not really the same way as like the, like in the like some of the marketing materials that I'm using, where like it says the years, like in the year 2020X, just again Mega Man reference because Mega Man starts with this stuff. But it's like a very thin layer of, okay, yeah, this is totally a Mega Man reference, and also using it for something more. Like, and the same with here. Like, yeah, it sounds like, okay, this is just a Dr. Wily stand-in, but no, he isn't even a real doctor. So, and also like this kind of plays into the thing of like very often like billionaires being incredibly obsessed with their self-image and like trying to create like the impression that like DR Boss is incredibly like it's important to him, like that he's being perceived as a doctor even though he isn't a real one. So he like deliberately abbreviates his name to DR so that people think, oh, he's a doctor. Even though he isn't. Anyway. It's like cool and awesome world building, I guess. It's so funny. None of this actually matters for the game. Like, you run around and shoot stuff, but at the same time, the running around and shooting stuff wouldn't make any sense if it weren't for this. So anyway, now we need to look at the other things. Because we are not done yet. My legs are falling asleep while I'm sitting on this chair, which is not very ideal. This chair isn't ideal in general, because it's a rickety, like just chair, nothing special about it. Yeah, okay. That looks good. And then we have to do this. And once like I'm through this, I'll probably take a short break, and after that like build it so that it should be displayed in the correct levels, and then just play through the game and see if this is actually true. So, like, just in case you don't want to be spoiled, maybe don't watch the playthrough, because I will stream the playthrough. Like again, it's not a large game, so there is no big twist at some point. It's very, very straightforward. Save Eminence didn't like the look of the native trees of his forest, so he burned it down and replaced all of them with state-of-the-art plastic trees that also serve as hiding places for his large security detail. Save Eminence, who said he wanted to go back to nature, lives in a plastic forest. This is the only hint to a boss weakness. Like like Retro Schwan has a secondary boss weakness that doesn't really apply to his normal fight. So Retrotron really doesn't like water all that much, but the property was really cheap, so he bought it in hopes of turning it into a holiday resort of sorts. Unfortunately, the constant fumes from the nearby factories kind of put a stop to those plans. The really doesn't like water all that much is kind of a hint to, like in the boss refights, you have Retrotron's weapon, which is a wave of water. It doesn't do extra damage in the first phase of the fight when he's like walking around in his fishbowl. But in the second phase, when like it like the fishbowl explodes and like the swan shoots out and like hunts you, shooting him with the water wave instantly destroys it. Because I found the thought funny of like a swan like really hating water that much that it instantly destroys him. It's not how swans work. And you could also make it ask yourself, what kind of liquid is Retro Swan like swimming? Retro Swan swimming in? Yeah, Retro Swan swimming in then in his fishbowl. I have no idea. Maybe it's wine. Who knows? One thing I was kind of also concerned about, at least to some degree, is the like I didn't want it to sound like too on the nose in some respects. So it's was yeah. I mean, I wanted to point out that these are kind of awful people living in awful places, but not like didn't want to paint them in like in an like I wanted to find a good tone in painting them as being awful people. That not oh look how awful these is, like kind of, and more like trying to find again like the Wikipedia type of like talking about awful people, where there's then the controversy section, but everything is kind of like written like sounding fairly neutral to slightly positive. So that's kind of the idea. I don't know if I'll hit that tone, but that's at least the like my goal here. What I also find kind of interesting is that you learn a lot about basically all these places that you're visiting and all these people that you're fighting, but you barely learn anything about GB Roba, like themselves. Like you have no idea who they are. Aside from, oh well, they work in this factory that is being described as like a place where unlicensed citizens work, whatever that means. So I maybe have to like work on this part of the text, but it's like, again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to work on some degree. Yeah, okay. That looks okay. So now, and let's do this before the break, I guess. Okay. I'm thinking that maybe the variable isn't really... I mean, maybe it is. Yeah. I don't know. I need to look at my room names. I could also make a switch statement, but why? Why make a switch statement? Like it does the same thing. New needle. 2. 3. 4. 5. Final 2. Whatever that was. 6. Final 3. 3. 7. 4. 8. And the last one is final. Okay. This is also 8. Good. So this changes the lore count variable depending on which room you're in. I guess this can also be like in here, maybe just like to be sure that the variable gets initialized just in case the object appears somewhere else. Lore count equals 0, and then it like changes. Okay. Yeah, good. So like what I want to do or need to do is, this is basically, there are like 2 blocks here. Where I have to like on one side have the just the location information, rhyming, cool. And then like it switches once you reach the boss fight, it switches to the boss fight information. The way you can do that is basically, and that's I'm just thinking about how to best do this. I think there are like some. The problem really is that like a boss isn't really a separate object from an enemy. Like if a boss was a separate thing, like a separate class, basically, or subclass of objects, I could just say if instance exists object boss and like have the display, like have the display change depending on if they exist, because bosses only really exist once you enter the boss fight arena, and before that they don't exist. So I could like, this would be the most easy way to do this, but this doesn't exist. So what I would have to do is, and this is also kind of like depending on the room, because there is a level where there are boss refights, and I don't want the like lore for the separate bosses to be displayed there. So which makes this whole step event makes this whole step kind of redundant. I think it's a bit easier to like work with overall, but it makes it kind of redundant because I still need to differentiate between, okay, if you're in this room, do this if the boss isn't there, and if the boss is there, do that. And I could have done like just like with putting numbers in here, basically. It's like this right now, and that's okay. But yeah, so let's okay, F1 equals M if instance this else this isn't completely true. This is true, kind of. Yeah, no. Let's copy this over here. Take this out of here and down here and remove this. So this is basically for the intro stage. If the boss is around, display the like, if the boss isn't around, display the location information, and if the boss is around, display the other information. Let's see how this looks like. I wanted to take a break, right? I'll take a break. I'll just check this because I'm bad at taking breaks. I really am. So let's start a new game. So this works. We do have our text blurb here. So let's earn some money for our boss. I still believe that this intro sequence alone would have gotten me an award in like 29 or something like that. Unfortunately, games have like progressed so that like simple minigames can't earn you awards anymore, which is a shame. Because I do find this incredibly funny. Show me another game that like with such simple tools demonstrates why capitalism is fucked up. Really, show it to me. I don't think there is any, but like maybe I'm just very uninformed. It could be. Like I'm a very uninformed person in general. Like because I prefer living in a hole and not knowing a lot of stuff what's going on because everything kind of makes me angry and all that. So anyway, we are almost at the minimum wage. Only 5 coins left. Cool. If only I would like hit my targets. Also, another reminder, you can't move in this sequence. So whatever coins like don't hit you, you just can't get. And that's it. We got 12 coins. Cool. Problem now is we have to get to the boss fight and see how it looks like there. But yeah. This is also something I still need to add. Button prompts to text boxes. So that you know when you can move on from one. Boo, it doesn't work. Did I? Give me a moment. Did I name it wrongly? Bosses, Copman. No. Who knows? God, I have to. Oh God, blah. I think I'm going to like. I'm going to test like the other stuff in like other levels because the intro just takes too long. So we'll see how the rest goes. So yeah, but I'll take a break for like 5 to 10 minutes and then I'll check the rest or like put the rest in and check this. I have no idea why this didn't work. But who knows, really? Who knows? There's probably a reason for it. But we'll have to see. Maybe it works in the next level. We'll have to see. Anyway, again, taking a break. See you soon and all that. Oh yeah, enjoy the music, which might get me a copyright. Something gave me a copyright. I don't know. It's definitely louder than my microphone now, so I stopped talking. think that was the right audio thing. No, I unmuted the wrong audio channel. This is the right one. At least for now. Yeah, okay. Let's try this again. Oh God. No. Okay. For a moment I thought I might know why. I thought I knew why this didn't work, but no. We'll have to see. So, let's just see. Law log is this, and law place is this. Place, okay. Then law name and lore. Lore name, lore. Okay, no, that's the correct order of things. One thing I want to do is just to make testing a tiny bit easier, at least for now, is go in here and do this, because this will reset the basically like not make it like safe, or like maybe not. Let's do it this way. This way this one stage doesn't like never gets marked as cleared, which helps with testing stuff, obviously, because this way I can always like replay it and do the boss fight, which is important because like considering that the boss fight isn't really working, or like the displayment of the boss fight isn't really working. Oh yeah, this is why I muted the music. Or paused it. Yeah, let's, what? There's no, oh, shit. Oh, God. Give me a second. I misclicked something in the Twitch thing. It's okay. It's okay. Thankfully, everything is muted. Good. Everything should be where it should be. Good. Let's start rolling. I'm pretty sure the game is very loud. Apologies for that. But what can you do? I could adjust the volume, but then the volume for the other thing would be too quiet, and even like maybe it is already too quiet. Who knows, really? Oh yeah, I never. Okay, yeah, this works. Cool. It doesn't matter. I don't need to, like, collect everything. Okay. Let's see if it works. I kind of like was spacing out here for a second. Why is that working? Like, what's... I hate this. I really do. Yeah, I thought it would be easy. So, okay. What's your problem? This is a bit of like where it like gets a bit frickly. Because now I have to like play through the whole thing again. Just to check this one thing. And yeah, I could maybe blah 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 blah, but blah 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 blah. I could do one thing though. Just to make things a tiny bit quicker. And switch on like doing 3 times as much damage. So that I don't have to like worry as much about like shooting things. Yeah, okay, good. Like the right thing gets displayed down there. Because cadence exaltation doesn't exist. I mean, I could also switch on auto fire, but that would be like another menu. And it's not that, like, it doesn't make things that, like, quicker. This is also like the right text. Yeah. So, like, it's not that the wrong text gets displayed, like, which at least is something, right? This is... Oh god. Oh god, I know what the problem is. Oh. I just want to go to sleep now. God. I mean... Yeah, oh god. I think I can fix this though. Okay, so let's roll it back a moment. So what is the problem? So, you know, this checks if Caden, like the boss exists, right? And it should like switch around when the boss doesn't exist. The problem though is that even though when the boss is there, it's not there. like, because the game is paused. And what happens when the game is paused is that these layers, like instances, floor, and like whatever, like projectiles, these get deactivated, and all the instances that are in there disappear. So they, even though they do exist, because they're deactivated, they don't exist. Which means anything that checks for like these to be around will always return false within the pause menu, which means it's completely useless. But we have this variable, which is like something that is in the pause like menu itself, or in the pause object. And what we can do is we can go in here, if instance exists object pause. This is just like a formality. It should always be around when this text box is around, but just to make sure that it doesn't crash. If object pause does dot boss present equals true, press equals true, else boss press equals false, else boss press equals false. This is again just to make sure that like things don't crash. And what we can do now is we go in here, it's false, else so this boss present variable is something that is there so that when you pause the game, the boss's health bar is still getting displayed. And we can use that because it's, again, it's in the pause object, which is on a layer that doesn't get deactivated when you pause the game, so it can still be accessed and should now, under the premise that the game doesn't crash now, should fix this problem. It's always the same. Pausing the game, it's like so awful. Like, say, like I think I said it a few times. Like, there are two big things that start ruining your games when you're making them. One is save systems and loading saves, and the other thing is pausing your game. It's always a pain. Always. Oh shit. I've just like had like an idea for another achievement. What if like, and you can do that because there's a way for you to damage enemies that does not involve shooting them. And also you can use a cheat. Making like an achievement that says finish the game without ever taking a shot. So there's a way to damage enemies without taking a shot, so you can kill bosses that way, which is rolling into them over and over again, which will take a long time. And I think the problem here is that maybe I make the jump exempt from it, but don't tell anyone. Because, like, I mean, It would also mean playing the game without the double jump. Which is an evil, like, it's like an evil achievement to some degree. I think it's possible to do that because you still have your air dash. And overall, like, the game was mostly built without the double jump in mind. With a few exceptions, and I think you can get through there with just dashing. Okay. Now it works. Great. Cool. Awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. So now all we have to do is do this and like copy it all over. The good thing is that all we have to do now is change the room. Nothing else. I have to make a small adjustment. Final 4 just removes this because only this gets displayed. And final only displays this part. Okay. Someone remind me that I have to check this stuff. Also, I need to go in here and remove this and put this back in. Okay. Okay. I'm getting text messages. That is like okay, I guess. Pretty sure that's not important. Let me just check. Oopsie, that's a wrong thing. I can use phones sometimes. Yeah. Okay. Okay, good. I saw something that like was bothering me, but okay. So, oh yeah, I forgot something. It's a bit of a convoluted way to like go in this menu, because of the testing room. Anyway, let's do this. Play through the game. Check all the text boxes. They should work. But yeah, we'll see. And why did I reduce the damage again? Because it's like it feels more interesting to play that way for me. Thinking about doing a doing a run with just rolling into enemies, and also like doing a pacifist run, even if you like switch over to tourism mode, would still mean never using your double jump. So But at the same time, like, I kind of find it interesting, like, or like find the idea interesting that it's hard to do, because non-violent protesting and like non-violent like action is sometimes very hard to do, like, and it's sometimes very hard to win something that way. Again, cutting edge social commentary coming from the developer of GB Rover here. What I find interesting about all of this is how much, like, this isn't me, like, specifically also, like, give me a moment. This will change in a moment. Okay. Also, like, apologies for the lower left corner being occupied. You know what? Let's so that we can all see the, like, game in its full 4-color glory. What I find interesting about all of these things where I say, oh yeah, cutting social commentary and whatever, is a lot of this. A lot of where I say, oh yeah, this comes from there, whatever. It's like just, it follows like out of like a simple like video game logic. What changes though is the overall framing of something. Like, you can, like, what does it mean if like doing like being pacifistic in a game that is kind of about like sort of meant as like a violent like uprising game, like to some degree, as much as you can abstract this stuff out in like a platformer overall, like what does it mean if this is difficult to do, right? And this, like, this would be difficult to do regardless of like the framing of the game, but through the framing, this might get like a different tone to it. And this is why also just this is why, like, just saying that like games, like the framing of a game, or like the narrative part of a game, or like the explanation why you do things in a game don't matter, like, isn't really true, because the way you frame your player's actions and what you're doing does a lot of work in like again, framing the actions and explaining why you do the things you're doing, and like provide additional meaning to things, even if it's just like, again, like an achievement that like says, oh, you have to complete the game without ever firing your gun. And it's hard, and suddenly that might mean something. You could put a reading into this, which again, under different circumstances wouldn't be there. So that's kind of interesting. But anyway, yeah, cool. That works. Also, by the way, one thing I always say is, you can see like when a level designer has kind of. Oh, wait a second. I'll switch over the capture way, because like it looked kind of framey, which it doesn't have to be really. What is it? This should be it. Yeah, okay. okay, this should look better, hopefully. Also have to keep in mind that the game runs at 30 F, or like it's being displayed at 30 FPS. But anyway, what was I talking? Oh yeah, a thing I always like to say is like you can see when a level designer in a 2D game like has run out of ideas, like the moment when they start putting spikes on ceilings. And that includes me. Like, this is the only stage where there are spikes on ceilings in this game. And it's also it's the last stage that I made, and like it's better than the first one. I still don't like, it's still my least favorite to play though. Maybe it has also something to do with it being a water stage and it being like kind of sluggish to some degree. But yeah, that's like, and it's Spikeland. And also like both horizontal sections have kind of the same ideas. So that's also kind of an thing. Like they both have these sections where you have to like fight against these enemies in their bowls or whatever, and with like spikes on the ceiling where you can't really jump over them. And one such section is okay. Having two, with the difference being the difficulty is higher in the second one. Meh. But again, this is where you can see, okay, this is where they ran out of ideas, which kind of happened with this stage. It's yeah, okay. I should have done more with water stages, like being like having something where you can. Wait a second, you can't do that, even though it's like completely unimportant. Like if you're like dash. Like very close to the edge of like very close to the water surface, like you're like leaving a trail behind you, like yourself, and which looks really cool, but like it never really appears in the game. It's also a bit hard. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Oopsie. Don't get hit by the swan. He will kill you. Okay. Next stage. So great. I was just thinking that maybe I should change the title of Murderball's motivational book, like into something like with girl boss energy. That would date this game like quite a lot, because like who knows if like in 2 years people would know what girl boss energy means. But it would be funny. I don't know. At the same time, I do like the like trying to fit in and not fit out. Shout out to LeBron James for saying that, like in, I think, when was it, like 2013? Or whenever it's like first season in Cleveland was? Like first season of his second time in Cleveland was, let's put it this way. Back then he said it to Kevin Love, or like made a weird subtweet about Kevin Love, like he should try fitting in and not fit out, which is like, cool. Man, friend. Maybe actually read the books, I don't know. Maybe he read the books later on, but That was like a cool thing to say. And like it has very nice like stupid startup culture energy, and that's why I like it. It's like, okay. Oh yeah. Let's check again, okay. I forget that every time when I pause the game, the like my weapon switches back, which isn't ideal. There was a weird slowdown in there. Strange. I hope nothing breaks. I think really like this is one of the like text blobs I'm most proud of, just because of state-of-the-art plastic trees. It has just the right kind of like energy to it, like something like it's not really something that like anyone would really do, but at the same time you could imagine a scenario where some rich asshole would say, yeah, I like trees, but why don't we make them like better and modern and like in such a way that they never wilt and always look the same. So yeah, and I mean there are like plastic plants or like artificial plants that look like real plants and whatever. So why not? Like, why not have someone say, yeah, I would like to live in a forest, but not an actual forest, please. So please burn this all down and replace it with plastic trees. Thank you very much. I'm sometimes thinking that maybe this weapon is overpowered. Maybe. Because it hurts enemies when they're invulnerable, it does 3 damage. But sometimes it's like the timing is tricky, which is why I think it should be okay. That was mistimed on my end. Okay, let's take another look. Okay, now we go to the boss fight, and it should change. And if it doesn't change, I will be very angry. No, after selling his company to DR boss, Dave Eminence decided that he wanted to go back to nature and moved on to live a simple life in the woods, and to focus more on his philanthropic efforts, like funding private military companies and weird eugenics research. I like that is like kind of ambivalent, that like whether or not he like eugenics research is like his hobby or like he's funding it. Which I think is okay to keep it vague. Also a touch I really like and that I completely forgot about. So bosses disappear once you've defeated them, so you don't have to like fight them again should you decide to replay a stage. And in this level, when you revisit it, because you defeated the boss, the rocket bombardment stops because it's the boss that does it. Which I completely forgot about. But which I think is kind of a nice touch. Overall, like that you have the boss kind of follow you through this level and you can see them every once in a while. Again, there's a sense of a sense of okay, this is now a more serious situation to some degree, or that was my idea behind it anyway. To some degree, I probably am using not the correct wording for what I mean, but oh well. This is just rambling anyway, so still maybe need to change this thing. I also maybe need to change the company that Nightbot is running, because there are already enough private military companies around here. What is Bruce Wayne doing anyway? Aren't they also building weapons? And now it changed again because the boss isn't around anymore. Cool. Cool. It works so far. I'm not going down the shortcut because I don't want to spend the next 3 minutes trying to get this jump. Almost jumped into spikes there. No, okay, it's hidden behind the ladder. This is why I can't see the second drone, because of depth problems. Making hand gestures as if the webcam would be on, but it's not on right now. Oh yeah, I'm also doing much. Oh yeah, there's like a bug where these drones don't shoot anymore, unless you have auto fire on, because I've tried to fix a different bug and that's kind of like made things worse. But it's okay. Don't need them anyway. But yeah, I have to fix those. Oh yeah. Murderball, head of Boscor's HR department and married to Stave Eminence. They don't see each other very often because of her husband's reclusive lifestyle. Wrote a best-selling motivational book called The Art of Fitting In and Not Out. And once again destroyed my thing. Still need to like make sure that the projectiles get destroyed. For some reason it's still not doing that. It should be doing that, I don't know. Space Elevator both serves as a symbol of DR Boss's genius and dedication to progress, as well as a strong deterrent against any kind of hostile action. After all, you would have to get past its strong security measures, and there needs to be like another sentence there. Also, this is kind of like, I guess the one thing where I like say, okay, this is sort of maybe partially like an actual spoiler. Like this is like the next boss fight because it is against your brother, and like it's the only kind of fight that has like some kind of like, I guess, stakes to it. Aside from like, because like the rest of the game is very much like just like a romp through explosions, and like for some reason I decided, oh no, there has to be like some kind of like at least an attempt at like emotional something. Anyway, this is PD Roba. I think I already showed the fight once on a stream or twice. Why couldn't you just stay peaceful? And there he is. This is the fight I reworked last week, by the way. GB Robert's brother is the living proof that even simple workers can rise to the top just through hard work and dedication. He was named Hero of Complicity after stopping the last large-scale workers' revolt. We can see also why he does that. So the redesign of his basically was me thinking, okay, what would it feel like to fight Mega Man? Like actually fighting Mega Man. So he has like different attacks based on different weapons that are like right now I still need to put something in there that telegraphs these attacks a bit better so that you know what's coming. And each attack basically has like a weakness against one of your attacks. And there's like a measure built in that when you just shoot him, he's basically invincible against your attacks. Also, I need to get rid of my hyper mode because hyper mode is also bugged to some degree, and it should be okay now. So there are like several measures in place. Like what I didn't want to do, and which was the case in the previous fight, was it was basically a shootout. And it was basically about, okay, can I like fire like fast enough and quick enough that I can kill him before he kills me, which isn't interesting. So I tried to build something under the premise of, okay, what would it feel like to fight Mega Man, to fight an enemy that can switch between different modes of attacks, like fluidly, and like is very unpredictable in that sense. And what can you do to like fight that? And also like, how can I make sure that it's not just, okay, mash the fire button as fast as you can to like deplete his health bar. And the way what I did was like the thought about, okay, what if I just put a counter in there? Like, you know, like I was playing a bunch of like Final Fantasy V and whatever, and there are like a bunch of like bosses that like actively counter certain attacks and certain like spells with like stronger attacks, and this is basically the idea behind these large charge shots that he sends out. That when you shoot him with the normal attack, he just like you basically charge up the shot. There's like a short like animation that plays of like it looking like he absorbs the weapon, like the shot, and he does get he does get vulnerable when he shoots. So there is a short window where you can hurt him with normal attacks, like when he readies a charge shot. But what you actually have to do is, and I kind of did this like, and then I started explaining stuff. What you have to do is figure out how to counter each of his attacks. So each of his special weapons can be countered by one of your weapons, which will do extra damage and stun him for like 2 seconds, which encourages you. Like, the problem obviously is that it's not clear which attack does this, and also this is the only boss that like doesn't explode but just dies. Anyway, so you have to switch your weapons around and figure out, okay, which weapon counters his attacks, and kind of like adjust your own approach, like on the fly, while he's like relentlessly attacking you. Again, I want to like put some visual indicator in there. Yeah, exactly. So I want to put a visual indicator in there so that you kind of know what's coming. I haven't done that yet. Maybe give me a moment. Once I picked up my notepad. PD Rover fight visual indicator. I'll figure out what that means in a few days. So like what I wanted to do is basically something like these things that get displayed basically as a symbol of like PD Rover switching between his own weapons. But yeah, that's the general idea. So okay, that's that text. And this is basically the boss refight stage, but it's slightly different than like in normal Mega Man games where you just have like 4 teleporters. Here there are like 4. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's like there's like an idea for me, like in a sense of like, again, also like with the idea of like this is what it would feel like to fight Mega Man. In the sense of like, okay, there would be probably a different kind of game where PD Rover would be the hero of the story, and like, and this is like what I tried to indicate with like he put down like a previous revolt, which means like the weapons that he have like are kind of meant as like, okay, these were like the attacks that the previous leaders of like whatever revolution it was that he like stopped had, and he acquired their weapons, so to speak. Like, kind of like hinting at like a bigger history behind that, somewhat. And again, it's a bit weird because the rest of the game doesn't do anything like that. And there's this one fight suddenly, where there's like this, like a whole lot of like stuff added to it. Oh my god, I am not good. Oh god. But yeah, that's the idea behind all of this. And I'm like, overall I'm really happy with the fight, with the way the fight is now, because like it's actually doable and fair. It is hard, but it is possible to finish it without getting hit. which is important. Just like overall important to make sure that you can, because otherwise like there's like the likelihood that the fight is over, like in general like fairly unfair, like if you can't like finish it without getting hit. I think there was like something in the like with the like development of at least Symphony of the Night where Koji Igarashi said that like, okay, if you design a boss fight for the game, you have to beat it without getting hit, or else it doesn't get in the game, or like or else it isn't done. So like it's kind of like, obviously if you play it a lot, at some point you get good at it, but it's still like an indicator for like you should be able to like enter a boss fight at 1 health and still be able to win. That definitely as well. Oh god, this is awful. This is so awful. I have no health. But yeah, 1 health. So it is possible now. It is very hard, but it is possible. It basically wasn't possible before, like in the older version of it. Oh god. Okay. And now this is like again the secret hint. Retro Schwan hates water, so it gets killed immediately when you just shoot one like water shot at it. You have to have like a Metal Man equivalent in your Mega Man style game, right? Like someone who's like weak, like especially weak against their own weapon. So that's that. Also, I can. It's completely. Oh, cool. This was like so unnecessary. Also, I now need to do that because hyper mode is bugged. Basically, what happens when you die while in hyper mode, it never stops. Or more to speak, hyper mode does stop, but like when you're at 1 health and have a full energy bar and then activate hyper mode, you get an additional damage multiplier, and when you die during that state or in that state, this additional multiplier doesn't get reset because I forgot to do it. So you have like you do extra damage. Like basically you're in a constant state of doing double damage at that point after receiving. Oh yeah, like it's something where I'm thinking about keeping it in because it's like there is no like explicit indicator for it, so I can keep it in there as like a thing for like, you know, people who would like to play the game fast or whatever. Like, hey, if you do that in that state, then you have like extra damage and can do more stuff. What I really like about this fight now is like Dear Boss or Dr. Boss says to you, I'm not letting you destroy all that I have built. And then you read here, like, after receiving a substantial injection of cash from his rich parents. So, again, this, like, classic thing of, like, watch this young person who managed to buy a house at the age of 25. And then you read the article, and somewhere within the article it then says, oh yeah, by the way, their parents paid for it. It's kind of the same. And that's the game. No idea how long it took. Like, it's usually like around 25 minutes or whatever. Without a lot. Yeah, same. Same. Like, the fun thing is like one of my brothers like lives in a house now, and it's like, well, the parents of his wife had another house and they're living inside of that. So that's how they got theirs. It's kind of like the same idea. Like, yeah, sure. Generational wealth. Good when it happens to you, I guess. 。 . 。 。 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。
「 . 。 . 」 . 」 . 」 . 」 .
And yeah, like this is like the let me oh god, this looks weird. Okay, just wanted to turn the face on again because why not? Anyway, that's the game. The text boxes work. The lore does work as well. And I do like the additional context that it provides. Again, it's not like put front and center because, again, I feel this is. I don't want to like upfront this too much because I feel it doesn't fit the type of game that it is. Because there are no people to talk to. So just having like additional pages where you're like, if you're interested to know what else is going on and what this is all about, you can read it, but you don't have to. Like the game makes kind of enough sense even if you don't know what's going on. But yeah, and like the game ends with you like jumping out of like the space elevator and falling down. Yeah, it's, again, like it's the way that the Kirby games do it, and I think it like it fits really well into the Kirby games as well, like because it's like it gives you something that, by the way, hire Mavica for work. Like it does a very great job both with music and like it did the like portraits for the boss fights and all that, and for some reason Mavica has like trouble like getting hired for like other game stuff, and I can't understand that, so please hire Mavica. Anyway, so yeah, Kirby games do that as well, with the God, I think you can add map lesbian, I think is like Mavica's Twitter handle. There's like a pinned tweet with like contact details and all that. Not sure if it's like on like active on Twitter right now. Could be, could not be. Like I'm not like so sure about that, but like you can find more information there. And anyway, that's it. And now we're back in the test room because the game restarted. So let's go back here, and I guess why don't we do this? And do blah 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 this way. Yeah, that works. Found more stuff to fix and more stuff to polish, which is great, I guess. I mean, it's still a bit out for release. And also, still, it's very unlikely, but I'm still kind of hoping that maybe a publisher wants to give me money for this game to make it a bit larger. Because last week or like a few weeks ago, the billionaires have started to like get into space, which obviously means that space isn't the last place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism anymore. And I really like the idea of like putting like a second act in this game or like an expansion in this game that kind of starts with that. Like space has been corrupted by capitalism and only GB Robo can get rid of it. Kind of like with the idea. So yeah, like you could make it in such a way that DR Boss, like once you defeat him, says like, I'm going to escape to the one space that the one place that hasn't been corrupted by socialism, and then fucks off into space. Like overall, the idea is to have like a second campaign or second act happen on the moon. So like again, it would fit. And also, Moon's haunted by capitalism at that point. You can also make that joke. So there's so much potential for like silly marketing stuff. I don't know why no one wants to give me money for that. Who knows, really. Definitely not because it's a pixel art platformer. I have no, definitely not because of that. It's all good. Anyway, that's been it. This has been a long one this time around. Anyway, thanks for watching. Yeah, you see, like there's like so like this is also what I like about the game. Like this stuff is so easy to write. It gets so obvious to do. So You don't have to put a lot of energy into it. Like, the jokes write themselves. Anyway, I'm going to... I guess I have to make dinner now. Hey, thanks. Thanks a lot. It's been great. And yeah, like, if people can't catch this stream live, it's not a big deal. I'll upload everything up to YouTube, so people can watch it over there. And yeah, it's going along very nice. And I guess wishlist the game and all that stuff if you haven't already. I do have to say that. Because everything you do has to have like a call to action in there somewhere. So please wishlist GB Rover and all this other stuff that you could do, but especially wishlisting GB Rover because visibility and all that good stuff. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and I hope you have a nice day, whatever time zone it is where you are. For me, it's evening, and I need to like make dinner, which will be, I have no idea what, but I'll find something. Anyway, goodbye everyone. See you soon.